Dear friends, Jai Bhim. Today I would like to share my views on the subject caste virus growing as a global problem, a big step in U.S. city of Seattle against caste bias, a message for Indians. Long back, Babasaheb Ambedkar said, caste is no doubt primarily the breath of caste Hindus. But the caste Hindus have fouled this way all over, and everybody is infected by this caste system. He further said, if caste Hindus migrate to other regions on earth, Indian caste system would become a world problem. What a prophetic statement and perfect prediction from the international renowned intellectual and father of Indian Constitution, Babasaheb Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Now his predictions are coming true, and the caste bias and discrimination is spreading fast beyond the frontiers of India, forcing the state administrations of foreign countries to enact special laws to ban caste discrimination. A landmark law banning caste-based discrimination came into effect on 28/3/2023 in the U.S. city of Seattle, making it the first city outside India to enforce such legislation. The world's first ban against caste discrimination outside South Asia goes into effect today in our city of Seattle, said a beaming Indian American Kshama Sawant, who moved the resolution and got it approved in the Seattle City Council on 21st February 2023. Thus, the Seattle City Council of United States of America became the first city to ban caste-based discrimination among its discrimination, amending its city municipal code and issuing ordinance to include caste as a clause to be protected against the discrimination along with race, gender, and religion. The Indian origin woman Kshama Sawant, who migrated to US from Pune in late 1990s, being a Dalit woman, proposed this ordinance, and Seattle Municipal Council approved it by 6-1 vote. This exemplifies how the caste discrimination crossed national and religious barriers and boundaries and spread its tentacles even on foreign soil, and as such it was felt that without such laws, those facing this caste discrimination in the US will have no protections. The Seattle City Council defined the caste as a rigid social stratification characterized by hereditary status, endogamy, and social barriers sanctioned by the custom, law, or religion, and said that the legislation would prohibit such caste-based discrimination against individuals. This historic legislation is also an acknowledgement of the fact that as the Indian American population grows, the deep-rooted divisions that migrated with them will also become rapidly apparent. The credit for this historic legislation goes to the tireless mobilization of Dalit American communities, individuals, and anti-caste organizations such as Ambedkar Association of North America, Ambedkar International Center, Ambedkar King Study Circle, and Equality Labs. However, it is not now new that the discrimination experienced by caste marginalized communities and assertions of superiority by the dominant caste groups in America. It was reported in 2001 in Berkeley, California, an upper caste Indian American by name Lucky Reddy Balreddy, one of the California's wealthiest landlords, was found guilty of trafficking Dalit girls and young women from his ancestral village and forcing them into sexual slavery and forced labor. The police investigated the case. He and his son were convicted. This was the first case. We have also seen in June 2020, the state of California has filed suit against the tech company Cisco Systems, in which an Indian American Dalit John Doe was harassed by his managers of Indian origin by name Sundar Iyer and Ramana Rao Kompalli, who were the alumni of same IIT in which John Doe studied. Likewise, in 2021, Bachashanwasi Akshar Purushottam Swaminarayan Samstha, known as BAPS, was accused by hundreds of mostly Dalits and Adivasi workers of labor trafficking, servitude and exploitation. A 2021 American Attitude Survey IAAS reveals that many Indian Americans report being victims of caste discrimination from fellow upper caste Indian Americans. The 2016 survey found that 2/3 of the South Asian Americans who identified as oppressed caste reported suffering caste discrimination in their workplace. It is no surprise that the caste discrimination is all pervasive in work or labor. About a century ago, Babasaheb Ambedkar said that the caste is not merely a division of labor, but the division of laborers based on graded inequality. This hierarchy has meant that menial and favorable jobs are forced upon menial and unfavorable jobs are forced upon marginalized communities, while favorable and advantageous jobs and white-collar professions are monopolized by upper caste. These unjust divisions have traveled to America along with mostly dominant caste Indians who went to America following the passage of Immigration Act 1965. But today, as immigrants from Dalit and marginalized communities make some inroads into these white-collared fields, many upper caste Indian Americans feel that their birthright is threatened and hence discriminate against Dalits in the workplaces. In the past decade or so, there is a big surge in anti-caste consciousness and advocacy in America, and Dalit and anti-caste activists have led the movement in South Asian American diaspora to carry forward Dr. Ambedkar's call to educate, agitate and organize, which also gave fillip to the movement and consciousness as demonstrated by the multiracial working class Black Lives Matter in 2020, which was the largest ever protest movement in United States history. It is this unified multi-caste, anti-caste efforts that have led to important reform victories. As a result, many institutions of higher education across America have added caste to their non-discrimination policies, including Colby College, Harvard University, Brandeis University, Brown University, Colorado College, Scripps College, University of California, Davis, and California State University system, and many institutes of higher education. The expansion of vicious caste system is not only confined to United States of America, but also this disease is on the rise even in countries like Australia as migration from South Asia grows. Australia's Human Rights Commission is looking at strong measures against caste-based discrimination. The AHRC's Race Discrimination Commissioner, Chin Tan, says discrimination of any kind is unacceptable, and that includes discrimination on the basis of caste. I am deeply concerned by the experiences of caste-isms in South Asian diaspora in Australia that were shared with the Commission. South and Central Asian countries now form the largest group of migrants to Australia, and with the expansion of Indian community, caste discrimination is going to turn into a major problem in Australia, and it is said that AHRC is working on creating the national anti-racism framework, including caste discrimination by in-depth community consultation in Australia. Even earlier to this, in the year 2017, the magazine The Diplomat has also discussed in its article dated 6/12/2017 about the caste discrimination spreading among the Indians who migrated to United Kingdom, where a victim of caste system stated, "One is of the opinion that you leave behind all your trappings of caste system once you leave India, but perhaps I was naive." As he was surprised to find himself at the receiving end of the caste discrimination from his flatmates. So caste discrimination continues to haunt the marginalized communities wherever they go. There also an intense debate was started for framing law or legislation against the caste discrimination. Research conducted by National Institute of Economic and Social Research and the Equality and Human Rights Commission has detailed various incidents of caste discrimination in the UK, but majority of these appear to occur in the personal sphere, which falls outside the reach of Equality Act 2010. One Indian in UK resident, Y.Jaya, recounted her experience as a lower caste woman in Britain in a documentary, Caste Aside, and said about she being victim of caste discrimination on school playground and later on carried into her adult life when she was running a shop, and concluded that is exercising untouchability here in the UK. Dalit Solidarity Network in the UK and Caste Watch UK also noted that they receive calls from across Britain by saying how they have become victims of caste discrimination, and Director of Dalit Watch UK, Meena Verma, said, in fact, it is happening globally because wherever the diaspora go, they take their caste with them, and so therefore that discrimination goes with them. With continuous growth of South Asian population in the United States of America, and more particularly who came from India, the issue of caste discrimination stands to become a bigger issue. Last year, we have seen many institutions, including the largest public university system, California State University, approved a policy change which added caste as a protected category, and Apple followed the same, updating its policy to prohibit caste discrimination. Likewise, the California Democratic Party added caste as a protected category in its code of conduct. Now, after Seattle City Corporation, which has become first US city to ban caste-based discrimination, now it is the turn of California state to take affirmative step against caste discrimination, as Democratic lawmaker Ayesha Wahab, an Afghan American, who authored and introduced a bill to make caste discrimination illegal in the state's Senate on 22nd March 2023. If it is passed, California, the home of some of the world's biggest tech companies, will become the first US states to outlaw discrimination based on caste. The workers' union at Alphabet, Google's parent company, and many organizations have issued statements supporting her bill. Mrs. Wahab hopes that the Senate committees, the state Senate, and the Assembly will pass the said bill and get governor's signature most probably within a year. While this kind of reformative and legal steps are being initiated to end caste discrimination in foreign countries, recognizing the danger of its growing into a global problem, not surprisingly, there has been resistance from some right-wing dominant caste Indian Americans. Notably, the organizations linked to Hindutva ideology. Hindutva ideology such as Hindu American Foundation and Coalition of Hindus of North America oppose the progressive legal steps, branding them as Hindu-phobic, which fits well within the Hindutva logic because discriminatory Brahmanism is a core part of its ideology. However, the growing attention and action against caste discrimination in America pose a welcome challenge to the false claim of Hindu-phobia victimhood, which has been manipulated by pro-Hindutva advocates. Naturally, passing of such laws will have its impact in India, the origin of vicious caste system based on Manudharma, and found its echo in the statements given by them. Ramdev, an RSS ideologue, wrote in an article stating that Indian constitution criminalizes the acts of such discrimination in any form. Hindu religious leadership too has been unequivocal in rejecting such evil practices. There are some vested interests with dubious credentials and opaque funding sources that spearhead this smear campaign against Indian Americans. There is no doubt that the uncivil practice of caste discrimination, if it exists in any form, must be obliterated. But singling out Indian Americans in the name of caste discrimination is in itself a discriminatory approach. And finally, he concluded that Hindu Indian American leadership must also ensure casteism does not raise its head in any form anywhere. RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat recently stated that the caste system was created by Brahmins or Pandits and not ordained by God, and that it is an implicit admission that it is the Manusmriti and Varna system which created caste system. But immediately he was countered by Puri Shankaracharya Swami Nichalananda, who proudly and arrogantly declared that caste and Varna system is a gift given by Brahmins and not by fools. And there is a need even in countries like US and France to create such a Varna or caste system, and the same was reported in Times Now on 8/2/2023. And he proudly stated that ancestors of all Sanatana Hindus are Brahmins only. But so far, none of these Hindutva ideologists or the proponents of Hindutva ideology, none of them have so far publicly stated that they are against the vicious caste system and the discrimination it produced, and never advocated the abolition of caste system, exposing their double standards. Back home, that is in India, the caste discrimination and atrocities against Dalits are on continuous rise and growing unabated in spite of the constitutional safeguards in the form of Article 15 of the Constitution, which lays down that no citizen shall be discriminated against on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, or any of them. And Article 17, which abolished the untouchability and its practice in any form, and the enforcement of any disability shall be a punishable offence. And there are special laws such as SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act, Protection of Civil Rights Act. In other words, in spite of such stringent laws and also reservation policies providing protection and benefits to the marginalized sections of the society, that is Dalit communities, caste violence and discrimination continues unabated. The national newspaper, The Hindu, reported, according to 2011 census, there are an estimated 20 crore Dalits in India, and in the year 2021, 50,900 cases of crimes against scheduled castes were registered, an increase of 1.2% over 2020, in which year 50,291 cases were reported, according to National Crime Records Bureau data. The rate crime is particularly high in some parts of the northern states where the BJP is a ruling party. The reasons are obvious, as mere enacting laws will not achieve their purpose unless the ruling establishment is sincere about its constitutional and statutory responsibility of implementing laws in their true spirit and object, which is awfully lacking at home in India, notwithstanding their pretensions and statements for public consumption to the global media and public abroad. However, it is heartening to note that strong legal measures are being taken and being initiated in USA, UK, Australia and other countries to end caste discrimination, which was carried along with them and perpetuated by Manuvadi Brahmanical casteist hegemonic forces, as rightly predicted and forewarned by Babasaheb Ambedkar about a century ago. And these steps should be welcomed instead of terming them as Hindu phobia. Likewise, if they are really so sincere in their mind, attitude and approach, all these forces who are speaking about Hindu phobia and who are pretending that there is no caste discrimination and bias in their ideology, be at home in India or abroad, should practice the same in all aspects of life by officially declaring their stand against the caste discrimination and also favoring the abolition of caste system itself. But will they do it is $1 million question. Let us wait and see. Thank you. Jai Bhim, Jai Bharat.